You're watching the Bo Frye Show, brought to you by these fine sponsors. Grand Lake Roofing, Fowler's TV, Family Audiology Associates, American Legion Post 323, Varsity Lanes, Outdoors Equipment Rental, Spring Street Storage, Mr. Bank, Plus One Professionals, Albert Sporting Goods.
You were renovating St. Mary's Foundry, Larry Shop Auto Sales, Back House at the Square, JSC, Cody Plumbing and Heating, Roots Pub, Dr. Mike Company, Larry's Pizzeria, DFW Post 9289, and Miller Funeral Home.
Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to this week's edition of the Bo Frye Show here on Rider Nation Station. I'm Joe Hurlbert, your host, and alongside head coach Bo Frye. And Coach, first of all, let's start off, and congratulations are in order. Riders get their first win on the road at OG.
Yeah, much needed.
So as we do each and every week, let's take a look at the Western Buckeye League standings. Things are starting to shake out. We're halfway through the season. That's hard to believe.
Crazy, isn't it?
Yep, we've got 5 games under our belt. We've got 5 more games to go. And then when you look at the Riders' schedule, the second half of the season favors the Rough Riders as far as playing at home. So out of the next 5 games, 4 of them will be at home, and that's always a plus.
Great.
So let's take a look at the Western Buckeye League and their records. Salina is the only undefeated team. They set atop the Western Buckeye League at 4-0. They're followed by Elida, Defiance, and Wapak. They're all 3-1. Van Wert, Bath, Kenton, 2-2. St. Mary's now 1-3. Shawnee and OG, the only winless teams in the Western Buckeye League. And when you look at overall records, there is no undefeated team in the Western Buckeye League. Salina, Elida, Defiance all have 1 loss overall. So, like I said, Salina, they've got their their work cut out for them this week. So we'll keep an eye on them. We'll give you who's playing who, when and where later on in the program. But last week's scores, I don't think anything surprised anybody. Bath defeating Elida, I guess that maybe was a shocker in some regards because up until that time last week, Elida was undefeated. So Bath defeats Elida 21-17. Salina all over Kenton 44-14. Defiance beats Shawnee 30-8. Wapakoneta all over Van Wert 41-13. And St. Mary's gets their first win 41-14 on the road up at OG. So those are the scores around the Western Buckeye League from last week. As we do each and every week, Coach, let's take a look at some of the other programs, the JVs, freshmen, and the 8th graders. How are they faring?
So our JV's actually tied on Saturday, 32-32. Wild shootout game. A lot of our younger guys that played on Friday didn't play in the JV game, so it was a tie. And then our freshmen beat OG 21-12. So. And our 8th grade got their first loss last week to OG.
Yeah, that brings up a question as far as your JV games on Saturday. What's the standard rule of practice of a player playing on Friday night and not able to play on JVs? Is there a certain amount of quarters that he can play or not?
There
or
is, but we never meet that limit. Really is that kid in the plans for the next week. You don't want a kid to go down on a JV game when he's in the plans to play the week after that. So a Caleb Schmidt, a Trey Moore, if they're in the plans for the next week, they're not going to play in the JV game.
So what about as far as grade? Can seniors play JV?
No, seniors cannot play JV. Only juniors, sophomores, and freshmen can play JV. And we moved some of our freshmen up to the JV, and then we have a freshman group that's playing together as well.
So that's the only restrictions as far as JV games.
Yes.
And when did JV games move to Saturday mornings?
I think it's been since COVID. We used to play on Mondays, or maybe it's been a little longer than that. It used to be Monday JV games forever. Back when I played and back when I first started in coaching, they were on Mondays. But teams with the numbers, they needed them for practice on Mondays, and so coaches in the league agreed to the Saturday. We were the last one. We fought it forever because our numbers were higher.
Right.
And I would rather play on Mondays, but
sure.
That's what it is.
You know, we talked about it prior to airtime, but I'll tell you what, COVID has changed the whole dynamics of high school athletics and especially coaching.
It is. It causes excuses, I guess, would be the big thing. And it's hard to combat those excuses and get kids here all the time.
Absolutely. So, well, let's take a look at last week's win over the OG Titans. As I mentioned, 41-14. Riders finally put 4 quarters together offensively and defensively. Let's take a look at some of the offensive clips that we had last night. And as we talk a little bit about some of the numbers, first down, St. Mary's had 24 to OG's 11. This play here, Colton Mabry just bounces to the outside. I don't think he scores, but he gets it close enough.
He got tackled by his locks of love there, didn't he?
Yeah. And then here's Cody Wallace with the quarterback sneak.
Quarterback sneak, getting better. I love the quarterback sneak.
And I think the quarterback sneak works when your offensive line drives out, surges out.
Yeah.
This is good blocking out front by your offense. Look, they got people out front.
Mm-hmm. Getting people to the point of attack.
Good run by Dominic Osborne. And Dominic in the ball game, you were real close to having 3 running backs over 100 yards. Colton Mabry, 25 carries for 169. And then Caleb Schmidt, we'll see some clips of Caleb. I'll tell you what, the young sophomore had a whale of a ball game. 14 carries, 97 yards, 2 touchdowns. And, of course, Dominic Osborne, 13 carries for 79 yards. So the Rough Riders put it together on the ground, obviously, and that's always been the strong suit of the Rough Riders, and it paid off on Friday.
It always has been, and will continue to be.
This is a quick pitch to Colton Mabry, and this picks up 41 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, we're getting some linemen out in front. We're getting some downfield blocking. We're starting to do things right. Yeah. This is a nice quick pass to Luke Ramel out there on the corner. Just a little curl route, 10 yards, and picks up enough for the first down. Luke's played 7 positions this year.
He has?
7 positions. And that cat, he's a great kid, by the way. Super smart. He's going to play more.
Yeah.
So,
And that gives gives coaches a little bit of flexibility when your kids are that flexible and can play
100%.
a variety of positions.
A lot of smart kids on this team that are willing to do anything. There he is.
There's Caleb Schmidt.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, just a sophomore, and
Yeah.
I think he's about 180 pounds, about over 6 foot, something like that. But
Good
I tell you
kid.
what, he had a great ball game.
Mm-hmm. He's played 1 position the whole year.
Well, that's good. Keep him there.
He's going to, yeah.
Dominic Osborne gets the corner, picks up good yardage.
Yeah, Dom has a little knack for running the sweep. I really like Dom. He comes to work every day, and just such a great kid.
This one here was they're going to hand Trey Moore, and this was going to be originally a throwback.
Yeah.
And it just kind of faltered there, but
so there's a point in the game. So there's times where we have 4 quarterbacks on the field at the same time. Trey Moore, Steinberg, Ramos played quarterback, and Cody Wallace. So they've all thrown balls in some level of football. So.
Wow.
It's definitely something that we figured out. Sometimes losing makes you figure those things out, but it's pretty cool.
Well, and a lot of times, and I speak from experience, pretty much your quarterback is your best athlete on the field.
Get out of here, Joe. I think it's fullback.
Oh, he is fullback? Okay. All right, this is a touchdown by Colton Mabry. Good line surge up front. I tell you what, I think your offensive line, you have to be proud of your offensive line and what they produced on Friday.
Hey, they've been getting better for 3 weeks now. It's just you haven't seen the result. And as long as they continue to, this thing will go how we want it to go.
Yeah. I think this is the play here. You put Mabry in motion, you send Osborne to the left, and you run the trap right up the middle.
Yeah, you see the linebackers, they have no idea where the ball's at.
And I thought that was an outstanding call because I was a little I lost the ball too in all this. And then you run the trap right. Look, the linebackers are flowing
right
to
there.
Osborne.
This guy right here is standing right here looking right at Schmidt, and Schmidt runs right by him.
He doesn't even know where he's at.
Yeah.
He doesn't even know where he's at.
When it's clicking,
Absolutely.
man. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, and it's, and I think this is what I was always told, and every play that is designed is designed to score.
Oh, 100%.
If everybody does their job every single time, and it goes as drawn, it should be a touchdown. That one obviously panned out. This is the same play, but I'll tell you what, the misdirection in the backfield had everybody fooled. This is a nice pass from Cody Wallace to Steinberg, right across the middle. Boom, got him.
Tell you what about Cody, man. He's had a great attitude this entire season. He's one of our best leaders and comes to work every day, and I'm real proud of him.
You let the big horses get down inside the 5, you let them score.
Yeah,
absolutely. They do
Schmitty,
the work
yeah.
and let
Yep.
them reap some benefit.
Yeah.
This is Trey Moore. And
Yeah.
he takes off, boom, he gets the corner, and you can just see the speed that the kid's got.
Yeah, you're going to know his name for the next 4 years. Yeah.
So that's a look at the offense. We'll take a look at the defense. The defense, I thought the defense played extremely well and played with a lot of heart and a lot of giddy up. And this one here is just Luke Bournes. You see him at the lower part of your screen. I think he would like to have that
flying
play.
around. I'm telling you what,
I think he'd like
man.
to have that play again.
I agree. We haven't had a turnover yet this season. We haven't gotten a turnover the entire season. So trust me, there's coaches in practice. They're flying around. Coaches are diving after balls over there on the defensive side to get turnovers, and they're counting them every day. And if they don't get enough, they're running gassers afterwards. And we're trying at every aspect to get a turnover on defense.
Really?
Yeah. When we finally get one, we're going to go crazy. Yeah.
There's your defensive line, just good support.
Yeah, this guy's getting to the ball, man. That's the big thing. And being young on defense, it takes a little time, but they're in the right position. They've been in the right position for weeks. It's just now it's time.
I think on that last play, we're going to watch this one, but on the last one, you got the younger Compton in there, and he was able to turn him in, and he got a lot of time on.
He's starting linebacker right now, so it's. Never good to start a freshman, but hey, if they'll eat when they're young, they'll eat when they're old.
Exactly.
So, and he's definitely one of those guys.
That was a good play by Luke Bournes. This is good pressure by the defense. Flush the quarterback out of the pocket. And
just get the right people in the right position, and good things happen.
There you see Taylor Compton, 32, in there as well. And your defensive front, they're veterans up front.
Yeah, those guys play well. Well, at this point, Ott's no longer a freshman.
No.
They've been in against some pretty good offensive lines. So they're getting better. All of them are getting better. It just takes time, and consistency is the big thing.
Your defense gave up just 56 yards through the air. And OG had 20 rushing attempts for just 118 yards, 174 yards of total offense. Of course, on the other side of the coin, the Rough Riders had 417 yards of total offense. So that's a little bit better.
I think we had 73 plays of offense on Friday, or something like that. Which, whenever you're keeping your defense off the field, is a good thing.
Yep.
And that's always been the recipe here.
Yep. There's another big stop by your defense.
Yeah, nice tackle. Guys just flying to the ball. They're playing with great effort, and if they continue to, we're going to continue to win.
Now we talked about Taylor Compton right there.
Nice
He
tackle,
is right there.
man, yeah.
Gives him right around the legs.
Revolt flying in there and break his head.
And
Get mad because he screwed up, but hey, it's all good, man.
Noah Dixon.
Guys flying around, man. I mean,
absolutely.
Hey, we're working at this thing. Every day we're working at this thing, and we love coaching this game, and we love coaching at St. Mary's. So,
well, I said that was Noah Dixon, but that was actually Kevin Perry on that stop. Came
flying
up.
around.
Here's some special teams play. I think this is the
opening kickoff.
I think it is.
It's always good when you can start
on a short field.
It's just Colton, guys up front getting on bodies, and then Colton
just bounces to the outside.
Yeah, doing his thing, man. He's a good kid.
Yep.
Runs hard. He's a veteran. He's got to do those things, you know.
Absolutely. You know, I noticed this. Logan Rush is probably within 4 yards of the football when he kicks it.
Yeah.
He has a good leg. I mean, he gets it down inside the 15 most times, where you see a lot of kickers, you know, they'll take 7, 8, 9 yards and approach the football. But, you know, he's got a pretty good leg for just a four-step approach.
And our coverage stunk on Friday. Our kickoff coverage was terrible. So we're going to get that fixed. Just letting you guys know. Quick kick here.
That surprised you? Did you know it was coming?
The quick kick?
Yeah.
I thought they were going to go for it on
Yeah,
fourth down.
yeah.
So yes.
And this is a point after by Logan Rush.
He's got a good leg. He's veteran for us too. I mean, we just haven't given him enough opportunities.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Here's the last one here.
I
Last
think.
kickoff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're flying downfield, but we weren't doing things right on kickoff. And kickoff and special teams are a backbone of our program. Our number one goal is to win special teams every week. And I didn't think that we executed on special teams the same way. But that was the first kickoff of the opening half, and Turner flying downfield doing his job, which was awesome.
So obviously one of the goals as far as special teams on the kickoff is concerned is inside the 20?
We actually do 30 inside the 30 because, a little bit different kickers and that sort of jazz. So inside the 30 is always good for us.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a look at St. Mary's win over the OG Titans, 41-14 last week up at OG. The Riders return home this week to take on the Van Wert Cougars. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk a little bit about the Cougars and the upcoming game this Friday here at Grand Lake Health Systems Field. We'll do that and more right after this.
You're watching the Bo Frye Show, brought to you by these fine sponsors. Grand Lake Roofing, Ballard TV, Family Audiology Associates, American Legion Post 323, Varsity Lanes, Outdoors Equipment Rental, Spring Street Storage, Mr. Bank, Plus One Professionals, Albert Sporting Goods.
You were renovating St. Mary's Foundry, Larry Shop Auto Sales, Stack House at the Square, JSC, Cody Plumbing and Heating, Roots Pub, Dr. Mike Company, Mary's Pizzeria, the FW Post 9289, and Miller Funeral Home.
Welcome back to the Bo Frye Show. Joe Hurlbert alongside head coach Bo Frye. And again, we want to take this opportunity to thank all our fine sponsors who are joining Rider Nation Station this year to bring you not only the Bo Frye Show, but rules of the game, and of course our telecasts each and every Friday that we're able to be there and bring that to you. Before we talk about the Van Wert ball game, let's take a look at some of the games around the Western Buckeye League. There's some interesting matchups, but we'll see how they go. Bath is at OG. The Wapakoneta Redskins are at Shawnee. Defiance at Kenton. Elida and Salina, a matchup of the Bulldogs. That should be a pretty good ball game, but that's over at Salina. And then, of course, the Van Wert Cougars take on the St. Mary's Rough Riders at Grand Lake Health Systems Field. The Cougars come in, coach 2-2 overall. They're 2-2 in the Western Buckeye League. Last week they got beat pretty handily by Salina, 44-14. Tell us a little bit about their quarterback and other skilled players, because we know in the past their quarterback and receivers have pretty much been the mainstay for the Van Wert Cougars.
No, it's still the mainstay.
Is it?
Their quarterback's extremely athletic. Their quarterback was the running back last year, who was very good against us. Obviously, they scored 70 on us last year, a school record. We had trouble slowing them down. They're still very athletic. They're still good in the trenches. It's going to be a tough one on defense, but if we fly around and do our job, great things will happen.
Now, when Cody Wallace looks over center, what's he going to see as far as the Cougar defense? How will they line up?
So they're in an even defense. They got some thick-bodied defensive linemen who defended Salina pretty well, but Walpock they struggled a bit against. Walpock hit some deep throws on them and all that sort of jazz. But, yeah, they're thick over there. They fly around. Are kind of in 7 different defenses at times. So we're going to have to make sure we block our rules and we maintain drives and finish.
Right. And I think one thing, we showed this last week with the time of possession, if you can keep your offense on the field, keep Van Wert's offense off the field, sometimes your offense is your best defense.
Sometimes that's the best way to do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's a look at Van Wert's ball club coming into Grand Lake Health Systems Field on Friday night to take on the Rough Riders. Of course, Rider Nation station will be there to bring you all the action starting around 6:45. So, Coach, we wish you the best of luck on Friday, and let's get another W.
That's the plan.
All right, that does it here for the Bo Frye Show. I'm Joe Hurlbert alongside head coach Bo Frye. Until next time, so long, everyone.
Thank you for watching the Bo Frye Show, brought to you by these fine sponsors. Grand Lake Roofing, Dollars TV, Family Audiology Associates, American Legion Post 323, Varsity Land, Douglas Equipment Rental, Spring Street Storage, Mr. Bank, Plus One Professionals, Albert Sporting Goods.
You were renovating St. Mary's Foundry, Larry Shop Auto Sales, Tap House at the Square, TSC, Cody Plumbing and Heating, Roots Pub, Dr. Mike Compton, Canary's Pizzeria, EFW Post 9289, and Miller Funeral Home.